Brandon also said something about Tatum this year, and Missoula was like wanting to fight him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I said Tatum was the softest Celtics superstar ever.
Say that again?
I said that Jayson Tatum was the softest Celtics superstar ever. But I never say he wasn't great. I just think his...
Explain that.
I guess I'm going off because of Jaylen Brown getting finals MVPs and Eastern Conference, and this is supposed to be your team and your moment. That's just like if when you went to the finals and if Kobe would have got finals MVP, would have been looking like kind of like, well, Shaq ain't really like, you would be just looking like, well, Shaq ain't really like that. Like when they come down to it. So, and for a Celtic superstar, and the toughness and what the Celtics bring, if you go back to McHale, if you go back to Larry Bird and KG and all those guys, it was just a different type of dog. So, but that doesn't mean that he's not a great player. I just, as far as what a Celtics.
And I think people get messed up by words. Softness is kind of harsh.
Yeah.
So what other word could you use? Because I agree with everything you just said. But I think softness is what kind of threw people off.
And then I said he wasn't a top 5 Celtic right now of all time. People got it.
Oh, he's not though.
So I was just like, right now he's not. But I believe he will be.
When you hear criticism, are you able to stop time and think about what people are saying before you react? Because I used to tear my house up. And I told him I was tearing my house up one day, and my mom came and she said, "What the fuck you doing?" I was like, I said something. So she sat me down and she said, "Is there any truth in it?" And I had to read it. Shaq would be the greatest player, but you can't rely on the free throw line. And she's like, "Is there any truth to that, baby?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she said, "Before you start going crazy, see if there's any truth." Mm-hmm. And now, since they piss you off, you know what to do, baby. So I had to learn how to, before I go crazy, just stop and look at it and say, "Oh, okay, you don't think I can do it?
Yeah.
Let me tuck this elbow in one game only. Yeah. Instead of go 2 for 10, let me go 5 for 8,
yeah.
7 for 9. So I agree with everything you said, but they don't have the skin we have. So how can you say it without using the word softest? I mean, because I agree with everything you said. Bird wasn't no punk. No. Neither was McHale. Neither was the Chief. Yeah. And neither was KG. So it kind of makes sense. So, I mean, but like I said, these guys don't have the skin that we have. So what's another word you can use?
Dog? Why you don't have that like that? I mean, when you think about a Celtic superstar, right? Like, what's the first thing you think? Mean, right? You think mean, like he gonna fight you. It's just gonna be tough. Like it's gonna be very tough to come in here and try to win. I remember when I first came into the league, Boston had Rajon Rondo. They had that whole team. That whole team. They had a whole team full of dogs, and it was just like
Leon. Remember that big long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big baby.
Mm-hmm. Like, so it's just different. Like now that I watch, I mean, they're great. Like their team is great. They're talented for sure. It's just, I'm still looking for them to start punking people a little bit.
The conversation around Tatum has always been interesting because he doesn't seem to have that alpha leadership quality where he's vocal but at the same time, he's going to drop 30 and 9 and he's definitely one of the better players. But you look and you're like, man, sometimes Drew is the guy. Sometimes Porzingis is the guy. Derek White sometimes is the best. But even when Jayson Tatum won, there was all those conversations about whether or not his celebration was authentic. It's, like, oh, he's just trying to do the Kobe thing. He's at an interesting point because his resume is already Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But Shaq?
Yeah.
Look who we're putting in the Hall of Fame, brother.
Yeah.
When you have a championship, when you have 5 All-Stars, when you have 3 All-NBA first teams, when you have a gold medal, like Shaq, where we're at, he's already pretty much there.
You ever see that movie? You ever see that movie Ocean's 13? I'm gonna break in the Hall of Fame and take all my shit out. Y'all just throwing people in there now.
I mean, we can start the big podcast Hall of Fame, and we just put in the people we want.
Isaiah Thomas said it the best one day. He said there's 2 Hall of Fames. There's a bad Hall of Fame, and then there's a basketball Hall of Fame. So which Hall of Fame is he in?
I mean, that could change. I would say right now he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, but he's 20-something years old.
No, listen, there's 2 Hall of Fames. There's a bad, undeniable, he's a Hall of Famer, and then there's a Hall of Famer based on.
Okay, so who is a current NBA player that is not LeBron that you would already put in the bad Hall of Fame? Or KD? Like, I'm trying to take out the obvious one.
I would have to go Curry.
So Steph Curry already in the bad Hall of Fame.
Yeah, got how many rings? 3, 4
I'm not arguing.
rings?
I'm just putting him in.
Giannis. The Joker.
Kyrie.
I said Curry first.
Is Chris Paul in the bad Hall of Fame, or is he in the Hall of Fame?
He's a basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do our next podcast: bad Hall of Fame versus Hall of Fame.
Dude, we could send out jackets.
Because my thing, like for example,
or we could send out Shaq chains to everyone who makes it to the bad Hall of Fame.
I remember the first time I got pissed off at him talking Bill Walton. This killed me one day. So I'm looking at his stats. I'm like, this only got 6,000 points.
He got hurt a lot.
I don't give about none of that. But my question is, how is he in the Hall of Fame?
Well, that's what I'm saying is, just like in the NFL Hall of Fame where Terrell Davis played 6 years, cut short by injury, their impact in that amount of time was strong enough to warrant a Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Also realize this, Bill Walton had the greatest performance in the history of an NCAA championship game. I think he went like 21. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Got it.
And then he won a championship with the Celtics, I think. And then I think he won one with the Blazers, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, the Blazers.
And then Yao Ming got in the same day I got in, right? How?
What do you mean?
You mean what I mean? I said it. How?
Well, no. I thought you were asking date-wise, or do you mean that he shouldn't be in the same Hall of Fame as you?
Brother, I'm just saying. AI is a bad. I'm a bad. Like what?
Is AI in the bad Hall of Fame?
Yeah. All day, every day.
So in your mind,
Kyrie Irving.
rings are not the most important thing in the bad Hall of Fame.
They are very important, but
they are not the end all be all.
No, like Malone and Barkley, you can't say they wasn't bad.
So they're both in the bad Hall of Fame.
All day, every day.
I like this bad Hall. I think I'm saying it so much because I like saying bad.
Because I'll be looking at some of these names. I'm like, man.
Westbrook.
Can we have Samuel L. Jackson make the initial address to everybody?
Yeah,
because
I
just think he says that word better than anybody.
Yeah, we should. The NBA Finals are here. The stage is set. The stakes are sky high, and every shot could be the difference between glory and heartbreak. There's still time to get in on the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's the deal. New customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll score $300 in bonus bets. That's right. Pick your side, place your bet, and get ready to cash in. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using code BIGPOD. The crown is yours. Stay in on the action. Use your $300 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as it happens, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code BIGPOD and bet just $5 on any wager and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code BIGPOD only at DraftKings Sportsbook. This episode of the Big Podcast with Shaq is brought to you by The General. You know Shaq loves The General. Before the league, before the rings, before I got my big break, I've been rocking with The General. The General has been offering quality coverage for 60 years. You already know The General was there for Shaq when I needed him. Low rates and flexible payment options to keep you covered. If you're ready for your big break, you know what to do. Visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. Again, visit thegeneral.com to get a quote today. And it wouldn't be the Big Podcast without The General.